When Donald Trump was elected in 2016, I was in my senior year of high school. I was about to go into the world as a new woman, but it felt like that womanhood was under attack. Like many, many people around the country, I couldn't believe such an openly misogynistic, racist man had become our president. I had always cared about social issues, but had never felt the pressing need to take action until 2016. When I heard about the Women's March in D.C. the day after inauguration, I had to go and be a part of it. There were 500,000 people in D.C. that day, and even more across the country. For the first time, I felt like I was a part of something, and I wasn't overreacting by being this outraged. Women were angry, and were there to show that we had a voice.
And we're ready to run, because the only thing scarier than stepping into this ring is seeing what happens when we don't.
In 2018, the Second Women's March was focused on power to the polls, getting ready for the 2018 elections. Women were taking action, and it felt like something was going to change. And it did. In 2019, the 119th Congress was inaugurated with more women than ever before. We had taken the power, but I wanted to know, why was the march still happening? The day before the Third Women's March, I interviewed Anusha Chintalapalli, a senior at my old high school.
I'm 17 years old, I go to Poolsville High School, and I'm part of the organizations Montgomery County Students for Change and MoCo for Change, and I'm also part of the Women's March Youth and Power cohort. The fact that this year we have a youth-designated march that's going to be marching alongside the women really shows that yes, women of the past, not even of the past, of past generations are here, but look at what we're gearing up for. This is what's coming.
So you think that little bits of activism and marches and stuff can help, because a lot of people, don't really see the point in it. So what's your opinion on all that?
I did agree. I was like, why is there a march? What are they gonna do? But I've seen it in my home state. What advocacy and activism can do, and I feel like if the more momentum that an organization or a movement gets, the more people talk about it, and the more that people talk about it, the more that the government is inclined to listen to them.
I went to the Third March wanting to hear everyone's story. Trump had been in office for 2 years now, and women had won seats in Congress. So why was everyone still here?
So what are you marching for? Why are you guys here today? What issues are you marching for?
Go first, Mom.
Well, it's a really long list, but I've participated in the marches in Hartford, Connecticut since Trump was elected, since the first Women's March, and I really wanted to be here in D.C., and since he was here, it was an easy decision to make, and we're marching for equality.
Well, I'm here because I would say the past 2 years, I think, and I think I just want to be here to see what it's all about again and again. But yeah, I like seeing what people are going to put in their posters.
Because my dad, he said that I had to, so I was interested to go.
I'm here because women's rights are human rights, and the fact that triggers people or pisses people off to hear that women's rights are human rights, that means that there's a fundamental issue. There's something deeper, that it's not a radical thing to say women's rights are human rights, so I'm here.
We're just here to do whatever we can to, just be a part of the change and, represent, our indigenous people.
So we're both here because I think it's a really important moment. We all have to stand up. We all have to have our voice. Enough is enough.
I feel like I'm more so here because I feel like a supportive human being. And I believe in all the ideals that are sent here, but I am also realistically aware that like everybody's going to go back to work on Monday, everyone's or not if you work for the government, or everyone's going to go back to their normal fucking lives. And the reality is that yeah, we protest in a day, but like tomorrow is just another day for everyone. Tomorrow's just another Sunday.
How long have you guys been fighting for women's rights?
1963. 63 for me. I was a little kid.
Do you feel like anything has come out of what you've been fighting for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We elected 15
the blue wave.
The blue wave started in Virginia. We're part of a group called Indivisible Below the Beltway. All of us. Yeah, we're 420 people that are in our group.
I mean, at the very least, it's very empowering, it's super impactful, it's super refreshing. I think this march is one day out of 365 days of the year, and it can feel really exhausting if you're constantly resisting and you feel like you're alone in the process, and this is a place to come together and realize that despite your individual efforts, there's still, however many people there are here that support you and are on the same side as you.
You're not going to make any waves by just like, we're going to have a nice peaceful protest that is under so many regulations and rules that are on government property. That's cool and everything, but that's not what the protests were back in the civil rights movement, They weren't sanctioned by anyone.
I think she makes a great point that, it only can do so much, but I do think that it is kind of like a shot for around the world. Like, it's definitely affecting not just this country, but many other countries have joined in the march.
They tried to take it away from us, and they didn't. We're still here, and we're still going to keep protecting, and that's just how it's going to be until things are set right.
At the very least, marches have the power of visibility. The Women's March showed that women have a voice, that they're ready to take power, and that they won't stop. But at the very most, marches can encourage more political action and inspire the next generation. The Women's March did that for me at least, and I will not let my activism end here.